Hey, my highly successful Christian female coaches and consultants. Of course, give me a second so that I can go ahead and notify folks in the group. And then we're gonna go ahead and rock and roll with today's lunchtime coaches chat. I'm excited about this one. Always when I can talk to you guys about getting more sales in your coaching business, I am down for it. So give me a second to post in the events tab. So those people that saw it in the events tab, because I didn't get a chance to invite people this time to this one. So those that were able to see it, then hopefully they will see this link in there, and then we'll go ahead and they'll go ahead and see it. So give me one more second to do this. And here we go. I think we are now all ready. And like I said, you guys definitely make sure that you tag people. That's the one thing you certainly want to make sure that you tag people um, in the video so that they catch it, especially because we know that there's an issue with the notification. And so, this is the best way to work around it. Also know that I go live for the lunchtime coaches chats on Mondays and Fridays. So always lurk in the group on Mondays and Fridays. Lurk in the group every day, but check in the groups on Mondays and Fridays to get that notification of me doing the lunchtime coaches chat. So that's another way. I say put it on your calendar. That's just me. But yes, I go live at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Mondays and Fridays with the lunchtime coaches chat. And so we're going to go ahead and get started. I think I have, oh man, I didn't do what I needed to do. Oh, but that's cool. We're going to rock and roll with it anyway. There was supposed to be a poll, but I don't know if you guys can see the poll or not. But let me go ahead. Of course, those people that I just let into the group, I just let a few people into the group. Ladies, those of you that are new to the group, definitely welcome to the group. I do appreciate you guys joining us here in Highly Successful Christian Female Coaches and Consultants. I am Beverly Walthour. I am the host of the group. I'm also a TV and radio show host, also a business strategist for Christian female coaches. My goal in a nutshell is to help other coaches get more coaching clients. Like that is my goal, to help you generate more coaching clients in your coaching business. Hey, you guys, as you guys hop on in the room, definitely make sure that you say hello. Like I said, for this particular chat, I did not get a chance to invite people. So that because I did it from my phone, and so it's a little different when you do it from your phone. So definitely make sure that you guys invite folks to this as we're in here, so that way they get the notifications. I'll try to invite as many people as I can, but definitely if you guys can invite folks, that would be cool as well. And so we're going to go ahead and hop right on into this topic. So once again, I am Beverly Walthour. I am a business strategist for Christian female coaches. My goal is to help you generate more coaching clients in your coaching business. And so you guys, with this particular topic, I love it, Tiffany. Hey. I'm so glad you were able to hop on in here. I said I actually made it on today. Good. And so you guys, this piece here where we're talking about sales. And I always talk about this because I've spoken to a lot of you guys on the phone. I see a lot of you guys' posts. I know when it comes to sales calls, so many of you guys, you hesitate when it comes to sales, and either because you've had a bad experience or because you just have this image in your head of people who sell stuff. And so because you have this image, and usually it's not a positive image, then in your mind, you're like, I don't want any parts of this, because you feel like, you're trying to dupe somebody or trying to convince somebody. And you guys, I'm telling you, if you have a negative feeling when it comes to sales, it's going to obstruct your own sales. I'm telling you that now. That is something that you really and truly want to make sure that you address with yourself, because it's going to cause you to hesitate. It's going to hinder you in your own sales. So I do encourage you when it comes to sales, and you know me, I'm a big journal person. So I always say, when it comes up, when it's time for you to sell something, or when it's time for you to ask for the sale, if you hesitate, you need to address that. If you see someone that's promoting something or selling something and you have a negative feeling or a negative thought toward it, the same thing. Analyze where that thought is coming from. Analyze where that feeling is coming from, because there's a root to it. And what you want to do is to get to the root of that and ask yourself, what's causing me to feel this way? Like, what's the reason behind that? And like I said, some of it could be because it's just plain out spammy. And when I say spammy, it usually people will say that it's spammy when someone just hops into your inbox and they don't know you at all, and they're trying to sell you something. And usually they're trying to sell you something that you don't need. And so if that's your reason why, why it makes you, when you see something like that, if that causes you to hesitate or it causes you to feel, a certain type of way, then once again, like I said, even analyze that and where it comes from, and then ask yourself, because like I said, in that particular situation, that's not how sales should be done. Like that is not it. And I know, especially pre-internet, when it came to the cold calling is what it equates to. And people still do it. It's still a part of business models. But, in this particular space, especially with you as a coach, like you don't have to do that. That cold calling, that cold selling, that's not, what we advocate. That's not how we actually talk to people about selling. It's all about that relationship building. And so that's going to be key. So like I said, if that's the type of selling that bothers you, then yes, hey, cool, that's not what we're talking about. But I know some of you guys just have an issue with people asking other people for the sale, with you asking people for the sale. And, in your mind, it's like, oh my gosh, what if that comes off spammy? Or, oh my goodness, they're always selling something, or they're always asking people to buy something. That I'm asking you to analyze, because like I said, there's a root behind that. There's a cause behind that. And that is what you need to analyze, because I'm telling you, for yourself, that's going to cause you to pause. That's going to cause you to hesitate in your own business, and you're not going to generate the sales that you desire. So that's the one that I'm asking you to analyze. Like I said, not the one when it comes to the cold calling and people are just randomly hopping in your messenger or picking up the phone, and asking you to buy something. That's not what I'm referring to. I'm referring to when someone, that you may know, that you may have interacted with, that you may have engaged with, if you may be in their Facebook group, you may see it posted on their page. And, that's what you see. And like I said, you feel like all they do is sell. And so, like I said, that's the one where I want you to analyze where that feeling comes from, and the reason why you may have those thoughts, or you may be saying those things to yourself. That's what I want you to analyze, because like I said, there's a root to that one. There's a cause to that one that we need to get to the bottom of. Because what you want to do, if you feel like it's someone and all they do is sell, like everything that they're talking about, like if you look at their post, or if you are part of their blog or on their email list, and like I said, all they're doing is sell, because people can take it to the other extreme. And like I said, all they're ever doing is asking you to buy, and there's no value, like you don't see the reason why behind it. Then like I said, if that's the reason why, then like I said, definitely sit with that. And if that's really and truly what it is, like I said, every single post they have is buy. There's nothing in there of value to you. Then like I said, once again, that's another legit reason. And so for yourself, you want to say, okay, I know for me, I want to make sure that I give value. I want to make sure that there is value out there, and I'm not just always asking people to buy from me every single time I either live stream, or every single time that I post, or every single time that I send out an email, or every single time that I blog. So there are definitely ways, like I said, extremes to that. And so, once again, you write that down and you say to yourself, okay, well, I know for me, it's not going to be every single time that I put something out there that I'm always asking people to buy. Because like I said, that's definitely that's a different extreme. And, you certainly don't want to do that either. So if that's the case, you can certainly have that written down that, hey, no, I am not going to be that person that's always selling. Okay, so you guys, let me know if you're catching that, if that makes sense to you, because we have those two different extremes. Like I said, that one extreme where people are just hopping in your inbox or sending you a message or calling you, and they don't know anything about you, trying to sell something that you don't need. That's one extreme. And that's certainly not the extreme that I'm referring to. Definitely not that. Yes. And so you guys, no problem, Regina. I see you. And so you guys, that's certainly not the selling that we're talking about. That other extreme as well is, like I said, when all you do is sell, like everything that you put out there is just about selling, every single thing. And that's another extreme that we are not promoting. That's not what we're talking about either. Yes, I just did this exercise. One of my observations is that I know many pipe dream entrepreneurs in my own family who have taken money, dropped the ball, and not sold with integrity. I grew up around it. So so Tiffany, there you go. Thank you for analyzing that. And so that's it. So Tiffany said, I do intend to sell with integrity and provide the best possible service. So you guys, like I said, definitely analyze where those negative feelings come from. Now, so we're not talking about those two extremes. We're not talking about the cold calling when people just randomly hop in your inbox and they are, and they're just trying to sell you something they don't even know you. And then we're not talking about the people that all they do is just post about selling. Like every post you see is like, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy. That's not what we're talking about. Those are two extremes, and that's not the models that we use. We're going in the middle. We are going in the middle, and you should be that person first and foremost. It should go without saying, but Tiffany mentioned it. Like integrity, that should be huge. Like whatever you're saying that you can deliver, you need to deliver it. So whether or not it's product-based or service-based, period. Like we're taking that for, and I don't even want to take it for granted now that I mentioned it, but we're just going to assume, and you know what they say about assuming, but we're going to assume that you are selling with integrity. So that just means that whatever you say that you can deliver, you are able to deliver it. That's the first thing that you want to make sure that you're doing. Now, also, there is a balance between offering value and asking for the sale. And when I say offering value, once again, there's a mix. So whether or not it's your live streams that you're doing, whether or not it's your regular post, whether or not it's your blog, whatever it is that you do to generate sales in your business, whether or not it's you reaching out to someone in Messenger, picking up the phone, asking for referrals, any of that stuff. Like you want to make sure that you have that healthy mix of giving value and asking for the sale. Because what happens as well is we have those people where all they do is sell. But then we have those people where everything they do, they're always giving stuff away for free. Always giving stuff away for free. And when I say giving stuff away for free, like there's no link to be found about, how to purchase from you. Everything is, you're doing videos, you're going live in your videos. And once again, because you're making a post about, your service, or you have a blog or whatever it is. You guys, the issue that I have with people and all they do is just give value, especially if you're an entrepreneur. My question is, how do you generate revenue from that? That's the first question. The second question is, I actually find that very off-putting. And when I say off-putting, because there are people out there that desire your service and you never let them know how they can work with you. So to me, I find that kind of selfish in the sense of, well, how do people know how to work with you? Like if they have this issue, this hell that they're trying to get out of, and you never let them know how you support them in getting out of that hell, like that's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like I have an issue with that too. Like, how do you let them know that you can solve the problem? Like, how do they ever know that if you never let them know, hey, either message me or click on this link to purchase from me, or message me so that we can talk about how I can work with you, or click here to apply for a call. Like, how do you let them know that you actually can help them? If, like I said, if all you do is hop on and say, hey, here are 3 tips, to help you sell more, or here are 3 tips to help you, we'll say lose weight, or here are 3 tips to help you find love, or here's 3 tips to help you get over the grief. Like, you can have those types of posts, but like I said, there should be something there where you let them know, hey, if you need more support, because you guys think about it, how much results can they get on their own? Because some people, they'll be able to take your 3 tips and they'll be able to implement it and they'll be able to get results. But what about those people that need more? How do they know that there's more support out there? That's the part that you have to ask yourself, because there are going to be people that can do it on their own. Like I said, they're going to be those people that at this point in the stage and where they are, they're self-paced, or they're self-started. So they're going to be able to take that information that you give them, and they're going to run with it. But what about those people that can't do it that way? What about those people that they've been trying to do this stuff on their own? They've been trying, and they've only been able to get to a certain point. But that you have a service or a product that if they purchase that service or product, is going to be that transformation, or they're going to be able to get more sustaining results. So what about those people? So if you never let them know that, hey, I have a 90-minute session, or hey, I have, a 3-month program. Regina, I thought you had to leave. Or that you can support them for 3 months, or you can support them for 6 months or 12 months. Because you guys think about it, for a lot of them, they've been dealing with this situation for the past 5 years, 10 years, 30 years, some of them 50 years. And so by just hopping on and doing a 30-minute live stream, or creating a post that gives them 3 tips on how to do this, is that going to be able to help them undo something that they've been doing for the past 50 years? Or do they need something that's a little bit more intensive? Do they need to be where it's not just them trying to do it on their own anymore? Maybe they need to be in a group setting with other people that have experienced things that are similar to that. or maybe they need to work with you one-on-one. You see what I'm saying? So you guys, we have to shift our thinking when it comes to selling. And this part I'm going to say, and I'm going to step on some toes, and I don't care, that's fine. But especially, I feel like us as believers, we're really and truly, like, it's something that's ingrained in us about selling, and we need to let that go. We need to let it go, because I always say, you don't go to your job and work for free. So why are you working for free in your business? Like I said, you would have all kind of flips. You would revert back to your pre-save days and tell those people where they can go and how fast to get there. If they ask you to come and work at your job for free, they ask you to come in to volunteer. And I always use this analogy. So why is that not okay? But it's okay for you to do everything in your business for free, or everything in your business for $30 or $50. How can you maintain and sustain your household if everything that you have is at that price point, or everything you have is for free? I love it, Regina. And LaVon, I hope that this is resonating with some of you guys, that you guys is sitting with you. And you guys, once again, we are in a new year. We have to start shifting. You guys can't keep talking about how you want to generate 6 figures in your business. You want 5 figure a month in your business and all that stuff, $3,000, $5,000, $8,000. And like I said, and you are afraid to sell. You have this issue. You have this thing when it comes to selling. Like, it doesn't work that way. So you guys, like I said, first of all, you have to shift your thinking when it comes to that selling piece. Now, those of you that are desiring to generate more sales, so these are going to be the 3 tips to generating more sales in your coaching business. So you guys, first and foremost, a lot of times when it comes to selling, people already have these objections in their head. Like, they have these reasons of why they can't buy. And so once again, what you want to do is answer objections before the people actually have their objections. So you can address objections in your copy. So when we say copy, whenever you post, or when you have your live stream, or when you do your blog, anything that you do to kind of promote your services, you can actually address objections there. And so you guys, and there's so many different ways of doing it. So once again, to address objections. So for some people, and Tiffany, she had one of the common objections in there. So you guys, first of all, addressing objections before the objection is even made. So that involves you knowing your ideal client. So for your ideal client, if, the investment piece is going to be an issue, say for instance, the investment piece is going to be an issue, then you can address that in your copy. So once again, let them know beforehand in your email or on your post or in your live stream, the investment for the program. Some of you guys, you get people on the call, there's never a conversation beforehand about how much it's going to cost to work with you. And then they get sticker shock when they get on a call with you. They're like, oh, hold on, wait a minute. I didn't think it was going to be that amount. You see what I'm saying? And so you want to make sure that, you want to make sure that you address that beforehand. So one way to do that is to let people know right off the bat how much it's going to be to invest. And like I said, for me, that is something that in a lot of my copy, you will see that. A lot of my posts or live streams or whatever it is, I let people know right off the bat. So they can't hop on a call and say, well, oh my gosh, Bev, I didn't know. Because that's not true. It's not a true statement. And so you guys, so like I said, if that's one where it comes to the pricing, like I said, do not be afraid to put your pricing out there. Some of you guys are afraid to put your pricing out there. Oh my gosh, what will people think? Oh my goodness, wait a minute. You guys, why are we caring about what other people think? This is your business. You do your business your way. So stop worrying about what other people think. So like I said, try to address some of those objections ahead of time. If your people are busy, so, time may be an issue. They may be like, okay, I don't have time to dedicate to this. I may not be able to spend 3 hours a day, working on this particular thing. So if you know that time is an issue for your people, then it may be, when you're talking about your service, you let them know, hey, you're going to be able to complete these tasks in about 20 minutes a day. You see what I'm saying? So that way you eliminate that excuse, because that time is an excuse. So you can go ahead and eliminate that by letting them know up front that, hey, it's only going to take you 20 minutes a day to work on this. So, hey, and then some people will even dig a little deeper, say, well, hey, and in order for you to get those 20 minutes, then maybe that means you wake up 20 minutes earlier in the day. Or maybe that means you spend some of your lunch break working on that. You see what I'm saying? Like they take it even a step further and let people know the things that they can do to even overcome that. If they're going to say, well, okay, well, hey, I don't even have 20 minutes. So then they continue to address the objection. And the same thing, even with the money, if money is one of the objections, then there were people that will say, hey, this is the fee or this is the investment. So people know right off the bat. And then they may say, well, hey, this payment qualifies for PayPal financing. Or, hey, you may want to look at upping the limit on your credit card. Or, hey, you may want to look at, okay, make sure that you save this amount each month, because you'll see people that say, hey, if this is what you're looking to invest in, you can save this amount every month. And then boom, within 3 months, you'll have the investment for this. So whatever it is, so people will actually take those steps to kind of help people brainstorm ways that they will be able to overcome that objection. You see what I'm saying? Those of you that are in the health and the weight loss, if you help people with their meal planning, and people are like, well, oh my gosh, it's expensive to buy organic food, for instance, then go ahead and break it down for them. Let them know, well, every time you have to buy this medication, this is what's going on. Or anytime, you're buying those snacks. You see what I'm saying? Like, answer the objections, address those objections ahead of time, so you eliminate that objection from that person's mind. And then, like I said, people will also actually give suggestions to help people with that as well. So that's awesome as well. Yes. I'm telling you, yes. I'm seeing you guys. So you guys, I hope this is helpful. So you guys, like I said, those are some common things, some ways that you can kind of address the objection ahead of time. So even before they get on the call. Another way for you to address objections before people get on the call are your pre-qualifying questions. So those are the questions that people answer before they hop on a call with you. I am such a huge fan of asking people certain questions before I ever get on a call. Because you guys, I've shared this with you before. There are people out there, especially people now. There are people out there now, because they have all these resolutions, new goals and all this stuff, that they will book a call with you just to say they took action. And that was the extent of their action. They can say, well, hey, I got on a call with a weight loss coach. I booked the call, but they never had that intention of actually moving forward and actually working with you. So having some pre-qualifying questions in place, that helps to eliminate some of those objections as well. It really does. For me, one of the pre-qualifying questions that I have on my call, it does address the investment issue. Because once again, I don't work for free. I do not work for free. This is my livelihood. I don't work for free. I don't do coaching for free. And so once again, people need to know that these are the investment levels when it comes to working with me. And so for me, I love having that question. I also love having the question of asking people how ready are they to, eliminate whatever the challenge is. I ask them that question and I give it to them on a scale of 1 to 10, because if they're telling me they're at a 1, they're not ready. They are not ready to move forward. So my thing is, hey, I am not going to, try to work with someone that's already told me before we even hopped on the call that they weren't ready to move forward. So you certainly want to make sure. Florence brought up a good point about someone booking calls and you guys no shows. Very rarely do I have someone that schedules a call with me and they don't show up. So what usually ends up happening, if I have someone that books a call and it's the time of the call and they don't show up, I'll reach out to them and say, hey, have you forgotten? And usually 99% of the time, they just absolutely forgot about the call. But for me, that's also very telling as well, because there are reminder emails that go out. And the reminder emails say, hey, put this on your calendar. So even for me, that's a red flag for me. Like, I actually flagged that person because that tells me that you're not paying attention to what's going on. My people are fast action takers, and so they have to make sure that they're paying attention. But like I said, I also know that life happens, and sometimes stuff just pops up. And like I said, they may have had an emergency right before the call, and they weren't able to reach out to me. So those things I understand. But once again, when someone said, oh my gosh, I forgot, I'm like, wait a minute, but you got more than one reminder email. And the reminder emails even gives you the option of adding this to your calendar. So why not put this on your calendar? So, it's little things like that. It's little questions like that, little red flags that you want to pay attention to. So like I said, very rarely do I have no shows. But if I do, once again, I'll reach out within the first 5 or 10 minutes of the call to see if they respond. If they don't respond at all, period, then once again, I have an option where they are never allowed to schedule on my calendar again. Because once again, my time is valuable. Period. So if you schedule this call and like I said, you didn't show up, so I know in my head, okay, hey, they had these reminder emails that went out. I reached out to them either via messenger and or email. So I know they got that. So my thing is, they just chose not to schedule. So they got scared or whatever it was. So like I said, there's an option where they will never be allowed to schedule on my calendar again. And that's what we roll with. Because my thing is, like I said, they're not ready, and that's fine if you're not ready, but then you don't get the option of wasting my time like that. So that's what you want to do. Some of you guys are like, oh my gosh, Bev, I can't do that. Oh my gosh, no, Bev, no. You guys, I am telling you, once again, if you desire to have a certain level, like you have to set certain boundaries in your business. You have to be okay with saying no, because like I said, there are certain people where all they want to do is they're the ones that are amen and oh yes, 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 but they have no intentions of actually taking action. And so what you want to do, like I said, you have to set boundaries and parameters. You have to put those things in place. Because once again, if not, then you're going to end up always having these sales calls, people not showing up. Like I said, now you're mad and ticked off because people are not showing up. And then you're now questioning yourself and asking what's wrong with you. And there's nothing wrong with you. So those are certain things, like I said, those pre-qualifying questions will definitely help. And if you see red flags, don't be afraid to address it. So for instance, if you have that question in there about, their readiness to invest, and so they tell you, hey, I'm not ready to invest at this time, or hey, I have $0, then hey, you guys, you are an entrepreneur. Stop being afraid to ask people questions. So don't be afraid to reach out to that person and say, hey, I saw on your application that you mentioned that you're not ready to invest at this time, or that you don't have any money at this time to invest in your business. This call is for us to see whether or not we're a good fit, and if so, I am going to suggest services to you. So, if you feel like at this time you don't have the revenue to invest, then we may need to reschedule for a time when you feel like, that you have, that you're in a better position financially to invest. Like, you guys, don't be afraid to do that. Period. Don't be afraid. But Bev, that's all spammy and salesy and da-da-da-da. Okay, you keep with that attitude. And like I said, you're going to continue to get the financial results in your business that you're going to get. If someone is giving you, advice and suggestions on what to do to have more sales in your business, and every time they give you an advice and you have an objection, then like I said, go back and analyze where that objection is coming from. Because remember, if you are coming from a space because you feel like you can serve that person, then you need to stand up and show up as that person that's there to serve. And so, like I said, sometimes you have to call people out on their stuff. And when I say their stuff, that's what I mean. So once again, you book this call because, like I said, some people, they are, because, and I've said this to you guys before, and I know some of your people are not entrepreneurs, and that's fine. But what you want to do, like, people should be, when people hop on a call with you, they should be pretty much sure that they want to work with you. They should be pretty much sure, especially if you're doing things on your front end the way that it should be done. And so they should be pretty much sure that they want to work with you. And so the purpose of the call is just to make sure that you don't say anything crazy. Like, they shouldn't be getting on a call expecting you to give free coaching. They shouldn't be on a call to test you out and, okay, yeah, you're just one of 5 coaches that I'm interviewing. No, because at this point you should have done your homework on the front end. So you should have already gone to my website. You should have already looked at some of my videos. You should have read my copy. You see what I'm saying? Like, you should have already investigated me before we got on the call. And like I said, the purpose of the call is for them just to make sure that we are a good fit. And so, you guys, that's the space that you want to come from, because you want to make sure that even when you're on a call, like, you let them know that this call is about you interviewing them, in that sense of, hey, we're on this call. I'm going to ask you some questions. I just want to make sure that you are a good fit for us to work together. Like, you set the tone for the calls. So that's even before they hop on a call, you let them know. So like I said, there are definitely things that you can put up and put into place even before they hop on a call that will increase your sales. And like I said, these are certainly things that I help my clients with. We look at some things that they can even put into place that kind of sells people on them before they hop on a call. And so that's an amazing piece, because then allows you to skyrocket your sales call. That puts you in the 80 to 90% closing rate on your sales calls. So that's the next piece. So step 1, like I said, combat those objections before they even get on a call. Combat those objections in your sales copy, your emails, all that stuff. Address those objections ahead of time. That's step 1. Step 2, when you actually get people on a sales call, shut your mouth. We do a lot of talking, and a lot of it is nervous, because you know that you're ready to offer something, you know that you're ready to sell something, and you do so much talking. You guys, close your mouth and let them talk, so that you can figure out whether or not you can even serve them. You may not even be able to serve them. And so you get on there and it's that nervous energy. Oh my gosh, let me just say something. I have to say something. I have to feel this thing. No, just give them a time to talk. Let you know what's going on in your business. Give them time to process the information. So, it's okay if there's silence on the call. That's okay. Just give them a moment to process everything. But like I said, we have that nervous energy and we're just like, oh my gosh, I have to say something. Oh my gosh, I have to say something. Stop. You guys, like I said, listen to them because they will tell you what it is that they need. So if you're asking the right questions during your call, then they're going to tell you what it is that they need. You need to listen to them to see whether or not you are actually able to support them. But if you're doing all the talking, you don't ever know. So like I said, just listen to them. Listen to what it is that they're telling you that they need. And then once they tell you what they need, then you use that time to let them know whether or not that you can support them. So once again, if they're telling you, and I was just talking to a client the other day, you know, if they're telling you that they need X, they need X. They've been trying all this, but they need X. And then you tell them how you support them with Y and Z, you have not listened to them. They didn't tell you they needed Y and Z. They told you they needed X. They told you they needed X. Can you give them X? If the answer is yes, then say, yes, I can help you. I can give you X. If you can't give them X, then hey, don't say, well, hey, I can give you Y and Z. They didn't ask you about Y and Z. You let them know, hey, you know what? I cannot. That's not my lane of genius. That's not my zone of genius. I don't support my clients in that way. And then if you know other people that can support them, and say, hey, I can refer you to other people. That's where, Tiffany, that whole integrity thing comes in, where people will say, hey, I can do something, and they know good and well they can't do it. That's not what we're talking about. We're not telling people we can do something we can't do. So if they tell you they need X and you can help them with X, then let them know, hey, yes, I can help them with X, period. And let them know. No problem, no problem. If you guys have to hop off, no problem. So you guys, that's what I mean by close your mouth. And then if they tell you this is what they need and you can give them what they need, then tell them, hey, I can give you that. Now, we know as experts, there may be other things that we need to add to it, and that's cool. But once again, if they're telling you that they need X, for instance, those of you that deal with love and relationships, then they're like, okay, I need a man, I need a man, I need a man, I want 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 a man. And so if you know that you can support them in helping them find the love of their life, then yes, I can help you do that. I can help you. These are the strategies. Hey, I can help you do that. But we also know that there may be some other things that we may need to do with them. And so once again, so like I said, if they're saying that they need more love in their life, and you're like, okay, yes, this is what I do to help people get more love in their life. Boom. If they say they need more love in their life and you can help them, then say, yes, I can help you get more love in your life. But sometimes because we're experts, we're like, okay, but I know I also have to take them back to when they were 5 years old, and when they were 5 years old and what happened to them when they were 5 because they didn't get the love from their daddy that they were looking for. So I'm going to tell them, you guys, you don't have to tell them the whole process. I'm not saying hide anything, but once again, if they're telling you that they need love, you know, they're looking for more love in their life, then that's cool. And once again, you can let them know that, hey, yes, we do that. I help you by journaling. And, you know, in that journaling, we really and truly look at, you know, the things that we need to do to help us increase their love in their life. And then we also talk about some strategies that you can use, you know, if you have an online dating profile. We talk about the, you know, the things you want to have in your online dating profile. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because those are the things that they are looking to do for more love in their life. But you know, as the expert, all of us with what we do, there's some mindset work there. So once again, for your people, mindset may not even be a word that they know about. We know about it because we're coaches. So once again, it's mindset work that you're having them do. But you don't have to say, well, hey, I'm going to help you on your mindset. I'm going to help you take you back to when you was 5. No, you don't have to tell them that, because you know in the journal activities, that may be an activity that you have them do. So that's what I mean when sometimes we talk too much and we're trying to fill in the gaps and we're trying to tell them every single thing that we're going to help them do because we've learned this in the past 20 years. But like I said, and there's nothing deceitful with what we're doing, because yes, you're going to help them find the love. And like I said, you're going to help them through their journal, and you're going to help them, you know, with their online dating profile. You're going to help them when they get out and, you know, when they're out and doing more hobbies. So you can definitely talk to them about the strategy. But like I said, sometimes, once again, talking too much, because we feel like we have to kind of oversell it to justify whatever our price is. Like I said, sometimes we talk ourselves out of a sale because we give too much. And so, like I said, it is not about being deceitful. So Tiffany said, yes, mindset, communication, discipline, all that stuff will be a part of your coaching, but there are a lot of common fundamental pieces. Yes. And so, like I said, and those are the things, like I said, the strategies that you help them with, like I said, the journal writing, or, you know, them logging their food. So those of you that help with food and weight loss, you know, once again, them logging their food. But once again, we know that there's more to it than them just journaling what their food is. You know, the food that they consume. Like, there's some mindset stuff that goes along with it that you're going to help them with. But once again, you just let them know, hey, we're going to write down everything that you eat in a day so that you can kind of, you know, see what's going on with what you eat. But like I said, there's some mindset stuff there. And so, like I said, as that coach, yes, you help address them with that. And you guys, like I said, if anything that I'm saying, if you find that deceitful, I'm telling you, there is nothing deceitful with that. Because as long as you're not telling them, hey, I can help you find love, and then you don't have a clue on how to help somebody find love, then yes, that is you being deceitful. But once again, you don't have to tell them every single strategy that you're going to do. For instance, when I work with my clients, we work on 4 areas: your messaging, your ideal client, your packaging and your pricing, and your visibility. But there's mindset built in there. But I don't have to say that, hey, I'm going to help you with your mindset. Like, there's a mindset around the reason why you're not showing up. There's mindset around your pricing. There's mindset around who you choose as your ideal client. Like, I don't have to say, I don't tell you guys every single step. So stop. It's okay. It is not you being deceitful. So like I said, if that's the first thing that pops in your mind is deceit, the same thing. I challenge you to go back and journal that out and ask where that is coming from. Ask where that is coming from, because like I said, it's nothing deceitful with that. So that is the second thing. Once again, the first one, combat objections ahead of time. The second one, listen on the sales calls. Let them do a majority of the talking. It is okay. It is okay. There we go. Yep. Give them what they ask for so that you can provide what they need. Yep. There you go. Yep. Give them what they want. And then once you give them what they need. Give them what they need. I love it. And then you guys, the third tip. You guys, if you do get an objection on the call, so say for instance, you do all this and they get on the call and you do get an objection. So 1, I need to speak with my spouse, or 2, oh, I don't have the funds right now, or 3, I need to think about it. Any of those types of objections, if you still do all that and you still get objections at the end, do not be afraid to address the objection. So for instance, the objection about the spouse, because once again, people, if they're invested at a certain level, then yes, they need to confer with their spouse. So the way that I address that, that particular objection is on my application. There is a question on there, like on the application, it says, hey, if you need to confer with someone else, so whether or not it's a spouse or a business partner, then either 1, that person needs to be on the call while we're on the call, or 2, you already have permission from that person to move forward, because once again, they see the investment levels on my application. You already have the permission, and you already have the go ahead to be able to make the investment that you indicated on the application. So if you indicated that you are ready to invest $7,000, then you already have approval from that person to make that $7,000 investment if they are not on the call. So that's one way that you can kind of combat that whole, oh, I need to speak with my spouse. Address it on your pre-qualifying questions. So that way, if it comes up during the call, you're like, oh, wait a minute. On your application, you already said that you had permission to move forward to make that investment, to make that level of investment. You already said that you had that, or you said the person would be on the call. So you see what I'm saying? So there are ways to address that objection. So once again, if you have that on your pre-qualifying question, or the same thing, if you have on your pre-qualifying question, and they say that they have $2,000, to invest, and then when they get to the objection and they're like, oh, I don't have the money right now, then like I said, do not be afraid to address the objection. Some of you guys, when they say, oh, okay, I don't have the money right now, you say, okay, well, I'll call you back, or hey, I'll email you tomorrow to see. No, don't be afraid to address the objection, because it's going to be one of 2 things. One is they don't see the value in what it is that you are offering. So that is an issue that you need to take care of. Like, you need to address that before your next call. So you're getting on all these calls and you're not closing people. They're giving you these objections, and it's because of you. Like, you have to go back and make sure that you're actually letting people know the value. Like, you're actually letting them know what they get. And so you're able to do that when you actually address the objection. So like I said, actually asking them questions. But once again, we're afraid, Bev, that's being pushy. The person said no. Look, like I said, they didn't say no. Like I said, they were just like, hey, they're putting it off for a reason, and you need to know the reason as an entrepreneur so that you can address it with yourself. It's about you, and you trying to figure out what the issue is so that you can correct it in yourself. So once again, if they already told you on the application that they had the funds, but then they got on the call with you and they were like, I don't have the funds, there's a disconnect there. So like I said, not being afraid to say, well, hey, I see on the application that you did say that you were ready to invest, $2,000 during the call. And, now you're saying that you don't have it. Let's talk about this and see what's going on, because it is a partnership. And so you want them to be able to have that open communication with you. So like I said, it could be on you. You really and truly, you're asking for $2,000 and all you're telling them is they're going to get a PDF. So they're like, okay, wait a minute, for $2,000 a PDF, that's not right. So in their mind, they're not seeing the value. So like I said, you have to make sure that you're able to convey the value. So that's why I'm saying not being afraid to ask those questions. Because like I said, that's a lot of valuable information that's going to help you become stronger with your skills as an entrepreneur. So that's what I mean when I say, being able to not be afraid to address the objections. And like I said, the same thing, when it comes to speaking with their spouse, especially if you don't have a question or you're pre-qualifying questions about the spouse, then once again, the same thing, like that's a legit objection. Once again, people have to confer with their spouses, if they're investing at a certain level. So the same thing, if they give that to you as an objection or the reason why they can't move forward, then once again, even asking them, well, hey, we can do a follow-up call with your spouse here, or, do you want me to speak with your spouse? Like there are ways that you can actually address those. And so you guys, that's what I mean when I say, don't be afraid to address the objection, to ask questions around the objection. And once again, a lot of you guys, you're not going to do it because once again, you're afraid of that one. Because you feel like that, oh my gosh, oh my goodness, that's being pushy. They told me no. No, did they use the word no? 9 times out of 10, they're not going to say no. So they're like, hey, does that sound good to you? When you're talking about your services, you're like, does this sound like a good fit for you? And then usually they'll say yes. And then you talk about the investment. And so once you talk about the investment, you get quiet and then you listen to what they say. And I have yet to have somebody use the word no. So it's not that they told me no, it's that they were like, hey, I don't have the funds at this time. And then, like I said, because of how my pre-qualifying questions are set up, I can go ahead and address that. Or there are other ways that you can address that question as well. And that's something that I work on with my one-on-one clients and my group coaching clients, how the other ways that you can address the money thing, because that's usually only one thing. And like I said, for some people, if you tell them that the investment is $2,000, then they're thinking, oh, I have to have the full $2,000. There are other things that may be going on that you can certainly help them address when it comes to the money, when it comes to even that, oh, I need to think about it question. Like there are different ways that you can address it. But like I said, you have to not be afraid to address the objection. And that's, like I said, a lot of us, because it's so easy for us when they say, oh, okay, I want to think about it. Okay, well, we're definitely, I'm going to reach out back to you. That's the easy way. That's the easy way for you to get off the hook. But like I said, even when they say they have to think about it, like I said, there are questions that you can ask to kind of figure out what it is that they want to think about, so you can see if maybe you can address that now. So you guys, those types of things. So those are 3 tips when it comes to closing more sales. Once again, addressing the objections ahead of time, listening more on your sales call than speaking. And then 3, when they do have an objection, actually addressing the objection, because you may be able to figure it out. It may be something you weren't even thinking about that you're able to, okay, that's the only reason. Okay, well, hey, this is how I address that. Because you may not have talked about it in the sales call, but it's something that you handle. And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, this is how we talk about that. Or this is how we work through that. And then like, oh, okay. And then you're able to move right on through that. So you guys, I'm telling you, this skill, like so many of you guys, this is an area where you're weak when it comes to selling. And like I said, usually it's because of something that you dealt with in the past. And once again, that whole salesy spammy type thing. So you guys, like I said, I pray that this was helpful. Those 3 tips on, helping you to address those things. Like I said, addressing the objections, listening more on the call, and then also, different ways that you can handle those objections. Like I said, definitely those are things that I support my clients with. So those of you that need more support with those types of things when it comes to your business, then certainly let me know so we can figure out how I can support you with that. Because you guys, once again, some of these things, it's just small tweaks. Because some of you guys, you're getting sales calls, you're getting people on the call, but you're not able to close them. So those little tweaks can help you close more on your call. So just imagine learning these tweaks, and you're now generating $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 more a month just because of these small things that you were able to do by addressing the objections first, by listening more on your calls, by asking questions about their objection. Just think of how much more revenue you could have generated just by addressing those 3 things. Like I said, those are 4 and 5 figure things in your business. Those are things that are keeping you from additional 4 or 5 figures in your business. So you guys, yes, I'm glad that was helpful. Like I said, of course, those of you that need more support, definitely reach out to me. Those of you, like I said, whether or not it's my one-on-one, whether or not it's my mastermind, any one of those, like I said, my mastermind is definitely for those of you that have had sales in your business and you want that consistency. So that consistency is between 5 and 8 figures. Us for 5 and 8 figures. Sorry, $5,000 to $8,000 a month in your coaching business. I can't teach you how to get to 8 figures because I haven't done 8 figures yet. I can't teach you how to do that. I can teach you how to get to 6 figures. So like I said, if that's what you're desiring to do, then like I said, definitely my mastermind is for you. So you guys, that's all that I have. I actually have an interview that I'm doing on interviewing with someone on another page. So I have to hop off and go do that. Hop off and go interview with this young lady. So you guys, like I said, definitely reach out. I'm getting ready to put a poll in the group sometime today. So definitely if you get a chance, answer that poll. I think that's all that I have. You guys, I pray that you have an awesome start to your week. Yes, thank you, Trina. Trina said the intensive was definitely a big help for me. You guys, like I said, that's what I'm here for. I'm here for those of you that are really and truly desiring to hit your revenue goal in 2019. Those are the people that I'm here for. I'm not here for those people that are hemming and hawing and playing around. No, we don't have time for that. So you guys, that's all that I have for you guys. You guys have an amazing rest of your day. Remember, I do these lunchtime coaches chats on Mondays or Fridays at 9 p.m. at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you guys have any questions or anything for me, do not hesitate to reach out to me. You guys enjoy the rest of your day.